Hey, what's up there, internets? This is Kyle coming to you once again late night for another edition of the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel. Not sure how you found me, but here we are conversing together. More of a one-way conversation, of course, but nevertheless, I value your time. And I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and hit like and all that fun stuff to learn more about my journey from $0 to $1 million, starting an online business more or less from scratch. No prior experience doing this, only doing this part-time, still have a full-time job as an engineer. But for various reasons, I've set this goal to see if I can build this business to $1 million over the coming year. I'm on day like 15 or 14, I forget. So about 2 weeks in, I guess. 2 weeks ago I was still in Orlando. Yep, I was still in Orlando at Funnel Hacker Live, the ClickFunnels conference. Got a lot of good motivation from the various speakers there and desire to, take small steps every day to try to reach my goal. Again, we overestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 5 or 10 years. So while I don't want to overestimate what I think I could do over the coming year, I know that by setting what might sound like a crazy goal of $1 million, whether or not I reach it, I know that in a year I will be much better in many ways for it. So this is my journey of transformation, if you will, to follow Russell Brunson's hero's journey sort of sequence. And maybe I'll get there in a year, or maybe I won't get there, but at least I will have learned a lot and hopefully at least have some paying customers. Hopefully have, a lot of paying customers of the products I plan to offer, which is most focused around continuity program of a membership, of a newsletter membership. And then at some point in time I'll roll out like an upgraded membership so you can get monthly coaching calls and monthly masterclass seminars of sorts online that you can attend. And then once I get that going, if I have people interested, then I will launch the third phase, which is the PhD Collective, will be a more one-on-one, very small group of people that we can go pretty deep on their individual kind of needs. A mastermind, if you will. But I'm calling it the collective, PhD Collective, because my target audience is people with PhDs, engineers, scientists, tech folks, because that's where I work, that's what I know. And I'm not sure I can really be of much help to a PhD basket weaver, if that's a thing, or a PhD musician. I mean, hey, good for them, but I couldn't help you. So anyway, today it's the weekend today, so I was busy playing with family and doing some work on my house, trying to get my new office put together. Got some more sheetrock up, drywall, what have you. So that is progressing. Still have a bit of work to do, but the room is functional as it is, and just kind of putting up some smaller areas of the walls that haven't been done, because it wasn't as easy to get those done during my first phase of renovations. In any case, today I did spend some time here this evening. Thought about going to bed early, but what's sleep? So I ended up spending, I spent a little time earlier this morning kind of, I guess, so playing around with ClickFunnels 2.0 to start to get my bearings, how things are laid out, what the options are, and watched a couple of videos of some, which again, there's not a lot of videos out there, but found a couple that talk about, setting up a funnel in there, setting up a site. And as I think I mentioned yesterday, I just figured, hey, I'll just model somebody else that's way ahead of me. So I took the magneticmarketing.com website, which I know is built in ClickFunnels 2.0, just put that on one side of my screen, just started building my site more or less with all the same sections, more or less all the same content, because I've structured my value ladder very similar to how the magnetic marketing membership is sort of structured. Obviously, magnetic marketing, they got tons of material and tons of products to sell, so there were some sections that don't really apply to me yet. So I didn't put everything, but made some pretty good progress overall. Also got me thinking a little bit more about sort of, again, what's the kind of persona I want to put out there for my PhD Secrets enterprise membership, whatever. And I showed you earlier about my prior video about the newsletter that I put together. So you start to get a feel for what I was thinking there. And as I was starting to put now graphics in for the website, got me thinking more. And again, more about like leaning into I guess I'm trying to lean into being a non-generic career coach type of person that, they're a dime a dozen or whatever, right? I have to sort of play up the things that are, unique about me, but aren't really things I necessarily like advertise in my day-to-day life, but that are unique enough that I should leverage those and then push that persona. So you'll kind of see that in some of the graphics I put together here. And I'm not sure, how much to sort of lean into that. And a little spoiler, some of it's kind of going a little bit of a Western theme. I'm a guy from the South, although Texas, not necessarily South exactly, but in any case, I've spent a long time in Texas, New Mexico, Alabama, so Southwest, I guess, in the United States I'm talking about here. So kind of playing up that, the typical stereotypes that people have of people from that part of the country, I guess. And so how much to kind of play that up without just sounding like, hokey, and also without turning off too many people, because again, I'm saying I've got a PhD, which I have some ideas, like I'll show my diploma or degree or whatever, or my dissertation, just to make people feel better that I'm not just making this all up or something. But in any case, I am speaking, my intended audience is a bunch of other folks with PhDs, which PhDs in general are kind of an uptight bunch. But again, that's what I'm trying to sort of break, I guess, is trying to tell people like, hey, you don't have to be something you're not just because you got a PhD. Just be yourself. And if that means you want to be the stereotypical, in most people's minds, of some scientist in a lab coat and, playing with spreadsheets all day or something, I mean, more power to you. But if you're like, I like to do that for my job, but I also like to, go mountain biking, and I like to drink wine in my cellar. I don't know if people have wine cellars. I don't know. Or I like to ride horses, or I like to, whatever. Like, I would hope people embrace all aspects of themselves, I guess. So, okay, that's enough little rambling for me for now. Let's go look at this nifty little website I put together, which was, I will say, still a bit challenging with the ClickFunnels 2.0 interface, but I'm certainly getting more used to it, and I do now start to better understand the ease of use once you kind of know what you're looking at. But again, this is me coming from doing web design, like in straight up HTML, like learning the coding, all the back end stuff, where I can see what they're doing and I can sort of understand some of the language of the formatting, of the fonts and everything else. So I know what to kind of look for. And now that I've used it a little bit here today, I know where to find it. So, again, I could see people that have more of a design background would probably think this is, like the greatest thing ever. But again, for somebody that's not web design focused, has no background, is just, again, this thing is being pitched as like, the easiest software to create your online funnels and do your sales. And so they're marketing to people that have zero experience doing any of this. I think it's going to be a pretty steep sort of learning curve for those folks. But I mean, that's just the nature of the beast, which just kind of got me thinking, like, maybe I should. One idea I had was for the business was just to get really good at using ClickFunnels 2.0 and sell those services to people that are looking for somebody else to build up their ClickFunnels 2.0 website or funnel or blog or whatever. And that's something I could do, but it's just something else to do. And since I've already been thinking about this whole PhD secrets thing for a while, might as well throw it out there to the world and see if I get any hits. And if not, that's fine. Maybe I can change the messaging, try to tweak things a little bit here and there, and ultimately if there's just not interest, maybe I picked the wrong audience or whatever, well then maybe I do become a professional funnel builder and make tons of money just building funnels for other people, because apparently you can make ridiculous amounts of money doing that, which makes sense. I mean, you're basically like an online salesperson. And as I mentioned, I think yesterday or the day before, salespeople can make a ton of money if you're good at what you're doing and what you do. Because every business needs a rainmaker. So, in any case, let's take a look at this here. My nifty website that I've got built up for the PhD secrets. So ultimately, this would be phdsecrets.com domain. Still having some issues getting my domains connected to ClickFunnels 2.0, but in any case, that would be the plan. So first, let me show you magneticmarketing.com, Dan Kennedy's website. Again, this is built in ClickFunnels 2.0. You kind of see again the general layout of how they've structured things. Interestingly, they've done a poor job of their own design. Some here are screwing up some of the graphics, which I'm not sure how that happens, but in any case, so anyways, talking about starting your journey, kind of an overview of the different main core products he has, his podcast, newsletter, and some like free online course you can take. Talks about the level of his memberships here. Again, has links to his blog and podcast here, links to the podcast on all the various channels that you can get the podcasts. His social media channels down here, and then your footer on the bottom. Of course, header up top. So that's his site, and voila, here's my site. Again, very similar. I did that on purpose because I don't have to think about it too much. So obviously stripped down a little bit in the header, don't have as much I'm planning to show, at least right now. Same kind of call to action up front and say join my email newsletter, which this I kind of like didn't really want to do. Like, you know, again, Dan Kennedy, Magnetic Marketing, they do send out emails like pretty much every day, which I guess I would kind of get to doing anyway, because that's the whole point of having a list, so you can communicate with the people on your list. It's not like I'm going to come up with a whole email newsletter every day or something. Like, that'd be too much. But anyway, I guess that's fine. The other thing he does is says that and I didn't realize this until I was reading his website in more detail, that if you subscribe to his email newsletter, apparently they give you a free copy of the print, a digital copy of the print newsletter. So I was like, oh, well, that's great. I guess that means I actually have to create a newsletter, so that if somebody joins my email list, I can get them access to the newsletter online, at least to one copy. And again, I see the value in doing that, because not only do you have them on your email list, but if they actually take the time to sign up for your membership site, then again, they're already like kind of plugged in to your membership area. And, you know, once you set up the membership area, that would have the links if they want to, you know, upgrade the membership to get, you know, pay the $47 a month to keep getting a newsletter in the mail, or upgrade to the Diamond, etc. So I get it. That makes sense. Just a little more work for me to do on the front end, but that's all right. So here I highlighted just 3 main areas. Again, I think I mentioned we'll be starting a blog, because that's, again, something that's newly integrated into ClickFunnels 2.0, so to try to make that easier. So I guess I'll start doing that. Just another link to the newsletter, and then a link to the YouTube channel, which is in the works, and then my levels of membership. Created some pretty sweet graphics, I think. Again, using DotCom. Really like that, actually. Again, I've used like Adobe Photoshop in the past, which is a freaking nightmare. Canva is like way easier. And it's not perfect. It's still got its own little quirks, but more or less pretty amazing. You can slap this stuff together like super quick. So I've got my 3 levels of membership shown here, and footer on the bottom. I don't have any links to anything. There's no other pages built out, but at least gives me a structure to start from. So like one thing on Dan Kennedy's site that I will probably work on next, which I kind of already have done, but in any case, is his membership page. So this is his value ladder, again, where he talks about the 3 different parts of the ladder of his membership, in addition to the free stuff. So I already developed a lot of this, again, for the newsletter, so I'll just create a page that has all this stuff on it as well. So that'll be cool. And yeah, that's some progress today. Oh, as you're kind of seeing the graphics, leaning into a little bit of a Western vibe, which I was a little bit into when I was out in New Mexico. So, you know, sort of playing up a little bit of a renegade, off the cuff sort of guy, personality, you know, real shit kicker, all this sort of stuff. In general, I kind of think what I'm trying to convey. Not sure if that quite gets as the right message, but that's what I'll go with for now, so it's fine. And again, this sweet graphic here, Canva.com. Actually, really easy. Probably took me like 15 minutes to come up with that. So, in any case, that's where I'm at today. So, hope you're all well wherever you're at, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Peace.